name is Gary, and what I wanted to do today was to share with you something new that I have introduced into my classes, into my flowing Vinyasa classes, towards the end of the practice. Normally what happens, as you know, at the end of the practice is that you move into kind of slow down mode, you come down to a seat, do a couple of stretches, and then eventually end up in Shavasana. So I found a little bit of a different path to Shavasana from the more active part of the class, kind of as a bridge between the active part of the class and coming into Shavasana. And it's a flow, and it repeats several times, and you can flow through it as many times as you like, so you can expand or contract the space that's taken doing this. And let me just tell you, or maybe better yet, show you how it works. So once you come down to a seat, then roll onto your back, and then the first pose we're going to find in the flow is Happy Baby Pose. I like to invite the students to find a place of stillness in Happy Baby Pose. And we'll hold the pose for just a couple of moments, and then release the hands, bring the hands down to the mat with the palms facing down, straighten the legs, and come into legs up the wall pose. Now, take a deep breath in and legs up the wall, and then as you exhale, move to plow pose. Now, classically, plow pose would look something like that. Everyone isn't able to do that. So sometimes what I do is just ask everybody to bend their knees, bring the knees close to the chest, and then if you press the hands into the mat, you can lift the hips up a little bit. For those that can come deeper into the pose, you're going to look like this. Bring the hands down to the low back to provide support, and then lift the feet up, coming into shoulder stand. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, return to plow pose. Bring the hands back down on the mat. And then from plow pose, we're going to use both strength and balance to roll all the way up into boat pose. Now in boat pose, you can do this a variety of ways. You can bend the knees, you can have the legs straight, you can bring the hands under the knees to provide support either with the legs straight or with the knees bent. Obviously, this is the most challenging, and this would be the least challenging. Any of those are okay. And then sweep the arms high. Let your heels float slowly down, activating the core. Now get tall, and then exhale and fold forward, round. And then we'll repeat it. I'll go through that one more time. Happy Baby Pose. Legs up the wall. Plow. Shoulder stand. Back to plow. Roll up to boat. Reach the arms high, heels float down, fold forward and around. Now you can add on to this flow with a couple more poses. One is bridge pose. So bring your feet into position for bridge, and then you can just lift the hips up, and you can do this at the end of the flow that I did before. You can stay there for a while. Another option is a dynamic bridge pose, breathing in and lifting the hips, breathing out and bringing the tailbone down. And just continue that 3, 4, 5, 7 times, however many you'd like. Another option is to inhale the arms up and overhead as the hips lift up, and then exhale and bring the hands and the tailbone down. Then when you're done with that, I like to bring the arms out to a T, and we'll add in the spinal twist, which is pretty traditional at the end of a Vinyasa practice. And let the knees float over to one side and land. Adjust your head, adjust your gaze, and make your way to the other side. Another way to do that, incorporating it into the flow, is let the knees float to one side and hover for a moment, activating the core and the twist, and then over to the other side. And then we come back to happy baby pose. So let me show you what that would look like, incorporating those two additional poses. Happy baby, legs up the wall, plow, shoulder stand, plow, boat, fold forward, round, come onto the back again. The feet come to bridge. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, bring them down. Twice more. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Arms to a T. Knees float to one side and land. Back to center. Over to the other side. Back to center. And then at that point, maybe you would come finally into Shavasana. So I hope you've found that this little flowing practice helpful, and give it a try. So I've been doing this for about the last 5 months, incorporated into my classes. I teach about 10, 11 classes a week. And by and large, the students have really, really enjoyed the movement at the end of the practice. So give it a try. If you found this video helpful, please like it. And if you have any questions, post them in the comments below. Take care.